Whoa, two videos in a row, both weird color. I don't know how to color correct on iPhone. I probably should just look that up beforehand. So New York Comic Con just ended, and we're doing what we always do, little toy haul, little figure update. This is New York Comic Con stuff, plus some other stuff that I got around the time, or that I guess I have on me to show you. Yeah, New York Comic Con this year. New York Comic Con, what to say? Well, I'll be real. I've been going to New York Comic Con for, I think now 15 years. I've never missed one since 2010, my very first time ever going. They've always been excellent, like out of this world excellent. And this year's was not. For the first time ever in 15 years, one, I got my smallest haul ever, I think. Like, ever. And also, it just was not a good year for me. It wasn't the worst year ever. I'm still super grateful to go, and I had a lot of great moments, but it just wasn't what it normally was. And honestly, I've come to terms with that's okay. 15 years, you know, that's a lot of conventions. That's a lot of time in my life. And they've all been really incredible except for this one. I think we'll take it, right? It doesn't mean next year's gonna be bad too. It just means that this year was an off year, and we were honestly batting 1,000, so I guess it was bound to happen at least once, so fuck it, right? And a lot of cool shit still came from it. I still got some great stuff to show you. And also I ran into the fucking Prince of All Saints. What that was just, I was drunk as shit out with a friend on the streets of New York. This was well after the show, on Sunday though, and I was just fucked up. We're walking actually to the Tamashii Nation store, funny enough, and I just see fucking the one and only Chris Sabat. He was super lovely. We took some pictures, as you can see, so that was crazy. 30. Okay, let's look at some fucking dumb toys. Start with the stuff that I didn't get at the show because it's right here on top. Got the Jada Toys M. Bison. You already know how I feel about Jada Toys. These guys are the kings of the Western toy world, the saviors of the Western toy world, and it's been banger after banger in their action figure line. And so I got M. Bison in the mail a little while ago. Super stoked. Excellent figure. I got to mess with them already. I also got to meet the Jada Toys guys, and they, first off, they're all super nice dudes, and I was absolutely glazing them. Pause. But I was hyping them up. I really love those guys. They're really nice guys. Shout out to June and Mike. I talked to them mainly, and they're just the dudes. They're the fucking boys. This was a gift for my birthday from the one and only Bob Killa, who is really more like family than a friend, and I'm proud to say that. Boys had this bitch on pre-order. Then shout out to the Gundam Kitchen, who beat Big Bad Toy Store to the punch and had this bitch. And I was like, Jimbo, who still lives where I was living before I moved out here, he picked me up one of these because he's the fucking man. So shouts out. I hate that you can see the reflection of the iPhone. But anyway, shouts out to Jimbo. Thank you, Jimbo. And so psyched. Can't wait to build this thing. Okay, when I was drunk, stopped at the Tamashii Nation store where I ran into the Prince of All Saints. 30. Finally picked up this bad boy. I've been meaning to pick up this guy since I moved back into the North Jersey, New York area, because I think this figure is incredible. If you don't already have this, go get it now. And then the Tamashii Nation store did the Tamashii Nation store exclusive version, where it's the same Robot Spirits, Robot Tamashii, RX-78-2 Gundam, but he's got all these really cool marking details, just little decals that they're painted on or whatever, tempographed, whatever it may be. But they're on there, and it just is a nice little addition. I've been wanting this guy. $50, right? Not too bad. And it's a great way to own it if you don't own it. They also have a Tamashii Nation store exclusive version. So Tamashii Nation store in New York and all that shit, they do these versions where they like re-release figures. They're kind of like best selection styles where they come with less shit, but like sometimes they have like little extra details like this, or maybe an accessory or something like that. But like they have a translucent Goku, or a somewhat translucent Goku. That's like their newest thing. But anyway, picked up him, and also got to pick up this. It's another great way, as I said earlier, to pick up figures that maybe you missed on the initial release. Maybe they're not as good as the initial release because they come with less shit, but it's a great way to own the figure in some way. So I didn't have the original version of Unit 2 in the Robot Tamashi's line, so I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna get this too, because I was all fucking drunk and pissed off that the show wasn't as good. But it was alright. Like I said, mainly it was just bad luck on me, not so much the show. Although the show was lacking. Shout out to the fucking Funko Pop invasion that you know was getting worse and worse every year. I can't believe these things are still high on the fucking mountaintop. What the fuck? And then finally, the last thing I'll show off that did not come from Comic-Con was I got this in the mail. Shout out to Jimbo for bringing this up. I accidentally shipped this to my parents' place, not my apartment. And my buddy Jimbo picked it up for me on the way here. He is the fucking guy. That's my central air, and you're not gonna complain about it because I fucking need it. Bring Arts Sephiroth. Popped him open for a little bit. Seems a little tedious. Don't know if it's just mine or if it's the figure in general. It's a Square Enix figure, so it's possible to go either way. But I think if I give this thing a little more time and really take my time with it, this thing is gonna be one of my all-time favorite figures. Definitely one of my most anticipated figures of the year. Everything beyond this point is from the convention. Didn't even know they made this in high grade form, actually. I mean, I guess I should have assumed every fucking mobile suit gets a high grade. High grade? Every mobile suit gets a high grade, usually, I should say. Some fucking retard in the comments is gonna go, the fucking orange Goomba didn't get the fucking high grade treatment. I don't give a shit. I know they did a real grade one, and I've been on a real grade kick, as a lot of you guys know. But I didn't see the real grade one there. I think that's a P Bandai exclusive, so it's probably really expensive too. But I saw this, right? And I still got love for my high grades, still building high grades. Predecessor or the prototype of the Exia, I believe. It's from the manga, right? Wasn't this only just a manga? I don't know. I know that this is also in Gundam Battle versus Motherfuckers Part 2 or whatever it's called. I own these two and built these two already. But so it's the Quanta and the Double O Razor real grade. Already own these, but I've been meaning to buy these guys for a few months now, mainly because some third party, probably Chinese company, makes the Saber parts, so that you can turn this into the Quanta Saber, and the 7 Sword G parts you can turn them into, take a wild guess, the 7 Sword G. Well, one of the things that was on I usually go with a pretty short list, or, you know, whatever. I usually have a not super extensive list of things I'm looking for to buy at the show. And I usually fill out the list like that, and then I have all the rest of the money from the budget to just get whatever I feel like. And that's a lot of fun, and you discover a lot of things, and you take chances. I wanted the Figure-Eye Standard Kamen Rider Gaim model kit. And did you know that every single booth at New York Comic Con that sells model kits, or even some that didn't sell model kits but had some fucking shit like it, didn't have the Figure-Eye Standard Gaim model kit? Nobody. Just nobody fucking had it. I am beyond shocked. I did not think it was going to be hard to get that figure, but here we are, okay? So, all right. I was so frustrated looking for this fucking model kit, but I bought this guy, I think out of like spite, but also because these guys are usually quite expensive. The booth I bought it from had him for under retail price, and he just came out, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know what was going on, but only a few booths had this guy. At all the other ones, he was quite expensive, but I got him for under retail price, which is insane to me, especially since he's brand new. Really loving what SH Figuarts has been doing with the Naruto line. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm a Naruto fan, so I really love it all. This is from their Top 99 series that they've been doing, and this is the Itachi, which is just a really cool figure. It comes with a cloth Ikatsuki robe. This is another one I was low-key sleeping on. I didn't go for it for a while, I got the, what's this one called? They all have the fucking subtitle name so they can fucking, because there's 97 SH Figuarts Gokus. Legendary Super Saiyan Son Goku! Slept on this one for a while, saw that motherfuckers on Instagram were really praising this thing, and again, wasn't really else at the show that I wanted. There was like, usually by now, I was like, I was deep in the purchases, but I wasn't this year, and I said, fuck it, he does look dope, and I got to mess with this one for a little bit. It actually is a really fucking cool figure. I do wish the hair came off a little more metallic, like how it does in the pictures in the back, but it still is a really excellent sculpt and a really phenomenal figure. Finally got around to picking up the Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. I have the Immortal Justice Gundam, I think it's called. I forget what it's called. I think it's the Immortal Justice or the Immortal Freedom, something like that. The new one with the cool boomerang blade looking things. And I was so fucking impressed by that kit and loved that kit so much that I wanted to get more from this Seed movie line because they all use kind of the same, the Seed action system, I think it's called. And so I was like, well, this guy I already thought looked fucking awesome. And knowing how good the last one I built from this line is, there's no doubt in my mind this one will continue that. I mean, look at that fucking design. So I ended up being able to get it at Comic-Con because I know that the white base goes to Comic-Con, and I was like, hopefully they'll have it there. They did. So that alone made at least going one of the days super worth it. But on the grand scheme of things, well, we'll have to see what I truly think about this. Apparently, these items, these white base items, even though they come to the US quite frequently through events, they're only sold in 4 places in the world, and that America isn't one of them, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Anyway, that is everything that I picked up at New York Comic Con and plus some other things. I'll catch you motherfuckers on the flip side. I have to go now learn how to light for this room. See ya.